This program was first broadcast on Canterbury's access media station, Plains FM, and was made with the assistance of New Zealand On Air. Next on Plains FM, join DJ Jordan and Thomas for your commute on the Drive Home Show every Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Kia ora, hello, and welcome to Plains FM 96.9, the Drive Home Show. Kia ora, Jordan, how you doing?
Yeah, really well. It's great to be back in the studio for another Wednesday, and we do have a special guest coming in the studio as well, Sara Templeton from the City Council.
That's going to be very interesting today, so stay around for that. We've got your local news, events, what's going to be happening in the weekend, and also your weather update with DJ Jordan this time. My weekend has been fantastic. Had a great time celebrating my birthday. Some of you might have heard last week was my birthday. Sunday the 9th of March. Went out with a few friends, about four friends. Had a great time at the Drexel's family restaurant in Riccarton on Rotherham Street opposite the Westfield Mall. It was great. Great turnout. A lot of presents. Felt spoilt and seeing family. It was just a great day celebrating with friends and family. So how you been, Jordan? How was your weekend?
Yeah, my weekend was pretty good. What a morning it was today. It's been a pretty chilly day and a lot of heavy rain as well, which was quite a shock to wake up this morning around about after 7 o'clock this morning. It just absolutely poured down this morning.
Yeah, it definitely did pour down for sure. I felt that here in Parklands. I know that you're over in Rolston's, you woke up slightly before us. But it was quite wild today. The weather was raining, then stopping, sun's out. Oh, great, sun. And the next minute it rained again. And now, currently in the city, it is not raining. Well, not at the moment here at the studio. But it's 12.9 degrees Celsius at the moment from Met Service. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty good. And the sunset today is at 7:58 p.m. So if you're looking for that sunset, that's just before 8 p.m., 7:58, which is pretty cool. And the fire restriction is restricted again. As always, check and apply at checkitsallright.nz, and always follow the local data and local authorities on whether you can light the fires or do anything in our community.
Yeah, the days are getting shorter, isn't it? You just notice by day it drops down a couple of minutes, but roughly about every week you lose roughly about 20 minutes, they say. About 20 minutes every week you lose of daylight. So we are edging closer as we go through to April, which we're only about 1 month away till daylight savings ends as well. So the clocks will go back in April. So definitely noticing the sun coming down earlier in the evenings, and the mornings are getting later of night time too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And our winter starting on Sunday, the 1st of June 2025 to the 31st of August 2025. So we've got a few more months until the official winter comes in, but it's coming down, creeping down, as we mentioned. It's going to be a great show here today. We've got special guests, music, and everything to take you home on your drive home show. As always, it's good to have you on our journey today. First up, we're going to bring you with Mim Jensen, Safe in Body, Mim Jensen, and then we're going to go with some news. That was Safe and Body, Mim Jensen with the Drive Home Show on Plains FM. This is Thomas and DJ Jordan here. So next up, we're going to go into our local news and what's been happening in our country and in our community. Let's take it away with the news.
Rev your engines. It's time for the news on the Drive Home Show.
Just coming into the newsroom today, we have 4 charges over the Auckland Pride event protest. Police have arrested 4 people following an investigation into a protest during a children's event at the Auckland Pride Festival last month. District Commander Superintendent Natala confirmed the officers carried out arrests at an address in South and West Auckland on Wednesday morning. 4 people were brought to Henderson's police station for an interview and have been arrested and charged, they said. There's been further arrests been made, and I strongly encourage those who have chosen to avoid our staff today to pick up the phone. The charges filed so far include a 67-year-old man with an indecent assault, 2 counts of assault under the Crimes Act, and a few other assaults as well. Superintendent said it is not good at all. The police have conducted extensive reviews of the footage and witness statements to ensure a thorough investigation. There is a place for peaceful and lawful protest in this country, but this event crossed the line, they said. So 4 people have been charged over the Pride event in Auckland, and that was released today in the media. Not good at all. If we're going to do a protest or something like that, we do it civilly, nicely and calmly. Don't hurt people or do anything like that, otherwise you're going to get charged. So that's what's happened. 4 charges have been placed over a Pride event.
And also, emergency services responded to a garage fire in Awanui on Wednesday morning. Fire and Emergency NZ Shift Manager Ryan Davison told Chris Lynch Media this morning crews were dispatched at 11:30 after multiple 111 calls reported to the fire. 3 truck fires were sent to Tormerick Street to bring the blaze under control. Good news is no injuries were reported. Residents in the area said thick black smoke was visible from the distance as the fire was burned. Fire crews were called to the blaze around the same time as the fire ripped through a house in Kaipoi, destroying a house.
That's not good at all. And there was a serious event happening our weekend here near Christchurch. It was at Rapuna Speedway crash. 1 person in serious condition. Event cancelled at the Christchurch venue. There was a crash at the Christchurch Rapuna Speed Track last weekend. 1 person was in serious condition, forcing the cancellation of the event. Police responded at 7 p.m. to the Speedway and Huskets Road, Templeton, after a single vehicle crash. 1 person was taken to hospital in a serious condition, what a police spokesman said. In an update, Rapuna Speedway announced tonight's event has been cancelled due to a medical event. They wish everybody to please be with us while the full details of the situation come up to date, and they said. So yeah, 1 person got really hurt at the event in near Christchurch and Rapuna. They got taken to Middlemore Hospital, which is up in Auckland. The motorsport community was devastated after the crash. On Saturday evening, hundreds of motorsport enthusiasts took to social media offering support and prayers to the family. 1 person said, "Never want to see anything like this happen within our sport. Pretty devastated. Pretty traumatic for us. Hope he makes a speedy recovery," says another one. A vehicle at the crash showed the car tumbling into a safety fence, bursting into flames, which is not good at all. Very sad to hear, but we hope that this person gets better very soon. But I was out at Woodford Glen. Didn't see any accident there, but then I heard something happen at Rapuna when we were at Woodford Glen, and I'm like, oh, that's not good at all. So my thoughts are with him and his family at this time after his fatal crash he had during the weekend.
That's no good to hear. And also, have your say on public transport. We want to know what you think about the following proposals included in the draft annual plan: Greater Christchurch Fare Structure Zones, Route 85 Rolleston to City Direct, bus service improvements, and also a Darfield to Rolleston trial service, which has also been an interest in the Selwyn area, which I'll be interested to see if that will go ahead. And it's important to note that any changes to zones wouldn't be happening until at least February 2026. Think this is your chance to tell us what you think. So head to the link on the Metro's ECAN's website for your submissions, and that will close at 5 p.m. on the 3rd of April. So they will look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, and we want your voices to be heard. If you don't get a submission in, it's going to do anything. And it's like we always say, if the voices ain't heard, your opinions are going to be heard and not going to be accounted for. So do get your votes in for that. And I've got a draft at home, which I'm going to be submitting very soon to them, which will be really cool. But do get your voices heard, otherwise we won't be able to get that action here in Christchurch. And we also will keep you up to date later in the season, in the year, when the Motto Move comes into action. And we may get someone from Motto Move, the council, NZTA, etc. to come on and talk about it and the changes when we do know a bit more. In other news, we do have come out today, which is really cool. 12 jobs lost at Sawmill closes, reported by Brendan. After 40 years, he within Timber, a privately-owned sawmill in Palmerston, East Otago, has closed, resulting in a loss of 12 jobs. Owner John Miller cited economic challenges and the high cost of meeting work-safe requirements as key reasons for shutting down. Larger North Island mills struggling with declining export returns have flooded and domestic market with cheaper timber making competition struggling, which is not going possible for smaller mills like Harwoodton despite the closure. All affected employers have secured new jobs. Miller, who has retired, expressed gratitude to the supportive community. The closure marks the end of sawmilling in the area. So yeah, sawmills are pretty not a thing much anymore. They're really closing down. I remember I had one local to me that got closed down. A, because it mostly wasn't making money, and secondly, housing was going in a long-term plan. After 40 years, timber place is closing down, and 12 losses are going to be lost. Very sad to say that people are going to lose their jobs, and we hope that those people do find jobs elsewhere.
And that is the news. And you can always find out more online, what's going on across New Zealand and around the world.
And we're going to go into more music today. The Phil, Money Mullet, and it is 4:14 here on the Plains FM 96.9.
Never trust a man with a mullet unless you want to get in his wallet. Saves his pennies getting you to cut it. Celibate since he got the skullet. My IQ may be low, but my EQ is phenomenal. And unlike you, I am the most humble. Money, mullet, guilt trip, empathy. Money, mullet, most humble, look at me. Did you ever pull on it? Should've gone and pull on it. Did you ever pull on it? Cut it out. Money, mullet, guilt trip, empathy. Money, mullet, most humble, look at me. Did you ever pull on it? Should've gone and pulled on it. Did you ever pull on it? Cut it out. Never trust a man who parties in the back, who only values you for your scissors and your rat. I think it might be best if you put on a hat. Please take this as a personal attack. My IQ may be low, but my EQ is phenomenal. And unlike you, I am the most humble. Money, mullet, guilt trip, empathy. Money, mullet, most humble, look at me. Did you ever pull on it? Should've gone and pulled on it. Did you ever pull on it? Cut it out. Money, mullet, guilt trip, empathy. Money, mullet, most humble, look at me. Did you ever pull on it? Should've gone and pulled on it. Did you ever pull on it? Cut it out. us in the front. Guilt trip, empathy. Money, most humble, look at me. Did you ever pull on it? Should've gone and pulled on it. Did you ever pull on it? Cut it off. Money, guilt trip, empathy. Money, most humble, look at me. Did you ever pull on it? Should've gone and pulled on it. Did you ever pull on it? Cut it off.
And that was the film Money Mullet, back here on the Drive Home Show on Plains FM 96.9. We've got some fantastic news for you guys here at Christchurch 2025. It's happening again. It is the City to Serve. It's raising funds and awareness supporting Home and Family as a supporting charity for 2025. I know Home and Family quite well, as my auntie works at Home and Family as a board member, and my partner's mum is the CEO at Home and Family. This week, this Sunday, the 16th of March, in 3 days and 16 hours and 42 minutes exactly as we speak here, as the City to Serve. Are you ready, Christchurch? Every year, thousands of people come together to have fun at the running City to Serve Epics course. Walk, run for fun, improve lives. Share with mates, choose your course. I'm doing the 12k run. What are you doing? Are you doing a 6k? Or are you just a supporter or doing a 12k? If you're interested in the City to Surf, you can go to the website at citytosurf.co.nz. That's citytosurf.co.nz, and click on the button and get your information. You can do a team entry. You can do your individuals. You can buy merch, and you can do other things as well. The course is 12 and 6Ks. There's a video map as well, and you can also download a wee file as well for your Fitbit or your other gadgets that support them, which is pretty cool. So City to Surf is pretty cool. It's about $45 per entrant, which is pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, get involved, and do note it's going to be busy in Christchurch. So do take it easy when you travel to the city and the suburbs. You'll see lots participating in the City to Surf. So again, City to Surf this Sunday, 16th of March 2025, roughly $45 per person. Get involved and support Home and Family, and come and say hello to the Home and Family tent up there this weekend. It's going to be great. I'm doing the 12k. It's going to be excellent. Get involved, have fun. And now we're going to bring it into our weather with DJ Jordan here on the Drive Home Show.
It is now time for your local weather update right here on Plains FM. Well, it's definitely been a wet day, that's for sure. We've had roughly close to a month of rainfall within the day. The Christchurch Airport is now recording close to 30 millimetres, and which will slightly go above that for the rest of today. Any remaining showers, we do expect them to confine to the Banks Peninsula in the morning, then clearing to find everywhere in the afternoon. Southerlies turning easterly, and we're expecting a high of 18 and a low of 8 on your Thursday. And heading into Friday, fine but becoming cloudy in the morning. We're expecting northeasterlies turning northwesterly at night. We're expecting a high of 20 and a low of 10. If you're planning to go outdoors for your weekend, I do have great news for you. Fine with northwesterlies. We're expecting a beautiful 24 and a low of 10, and even warmer on Sunday as well. Fine northerlies developing. We're expecting highs around about 25 and a low of 13. And it's also great news as well for Sunday. The Black Cats return home from Dubai after their final in the Champions Trophy. They'll be playing against Pakistan. And there's also as a double-headed games at the Hagley Oval. They'll also have the White Ferns up against Sri Lanka. So it's a great comp to go head along to these two double-headers. In the past, double-headers have been amazing and always done really good turnouts, and has always gone New Zealand's way. So if you're heading along, it's going to be perfect weather for you. And that is your weather update right here on Plains FM.
Yeah, that's really cool. And thank you so much, Jordan, for that weather update here on the Drive Home Show. And to those who are heading to City to Surf, we hope you enjoyed that, which will be really cool. I would have gone to the cricket. I got offered today and yesterday to go to the cricket, but I had to decline politely, saying, sorry, I'd love to go with you, or I'd like to have a ticket, but unfortunately I'm going to tell you this surf is going to be busy all day, so it's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be playing a few more songs then we're going to bring it into the interview with Sara Templeton, which is going to be really cool. So let's take it away with a song, Lady Gaga, Abracadabra, here on the Drive Home Show, 421, here on the Drive Home Show, 96.9.
As the dust flies, watch it burn. Don't waste time on feeling. Use your passion for return. Hold me in your heart tonight in the magic of the dark moonlight. Save me from this empty fight. In the game of life, like a poem said by a lady in red, you hear the last few words of your life.
For you I bleed myself dry. That you do.
Plains FM 96.9, Canterbury's only community access radio station.
It's fine, it's cool. You can say that we ain't nothing, but you know the truth. And guess I'm the fool with their arms out like an angel through the car sunroof. I don't wanna call it off, but you don't wanna call it love. You only wanna be the one that I call baby. Cause I'm the poison bars. Shoot another shot to stop the feeling. You could say it's just the way you are. Make a new excuse for the stupid reason. Go away, well, go away, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling. Go away, well, go away, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling. You say, who cares? It's a sexually explicit kind of love affair, and I cry. It's not fair. I just need a little love, and I just need a little hair. Think I'm gonna call it art, even if you call it love. I just don't love someone who calls me baby. Cause I'm the poison bars. Shoot another shot to stop the feeling. You could say it's just the way you are. Make a new excuse for the stupid reason. Go away, well, go away, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling. Go away, well, go away, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the When you wake up next to him in the middle of the night with your head in your hands, you're nothing more than his wife. And when you think about me, all of those years ago, you're standing face to face with I told you so. You know I hate to say it, I told you so. You know I hate to say, but I told you so. Cause I'm the poison bars. Shoot another shot to stop the feeling. You could say it's just the way you are. Make a new excuse for the stupid reason. Well, good night, well, good night, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling. Well, good night, well, good night, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling. You have to stop the world, just to stop the feeling.
You're listening to the Drive Home Show on Plains FM 96.9 with DJ Jordan and Thomas. It is that time of the show that we are introducing a special guest in the studio, Sara Templeton, Councillor for Heathcote. Welcome.
Kia ora koroa, how are you doing?
Yes, really well.
Yeah, good to have you on. How's your day been?
It's been really good. It was a nice walk here. I got blown along.
Yeah.
Been a good day to stay inside and catch up on my emails.
Yeah, that's awesome. Could you start off with introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself, your background and your role in Christchurch so our listeners can understand a bit more about you.
Yeah. So I am a third-term city councillor. So I've been on council for sort of 8 years now. And before then, I chaired the Hagley Ferry Mead Community Board. So that was in that post-quake phase, got elected in 2013. But before then, I was working in the community as a volunteer in that post-quake space. I had 3 small children when the earthquakes hit. They were 4, 4 and 6 in Heathcote Valley. And Heathcote Valley School is where the seismometer was that recorded that 2.2G vertical ground force. And one of my kids was at school at the time. And so I was really involved in that post-quake response there and learned a lot about community and the ability for communities to really know what needs doing for themselves and not having to wait for someone else to come in and do it for them. So we were really lucky that we managed to do a really wide range of community projects for ourselves in conjunction with other communities and advocated really strongly to council. So saved our local volunteer library, which was fantastic, sort of hub of the community there and community centre, and got involved in making sure the insurance money for the damage came back to the community so that we could rebuild better the combined facility. And it was off the back of that work that I got elected to the community board. Really, really enjoy my role. It's really motivating and really rewarding. I think one of the best things is seeing the progress on the ground. Sometimes it takes a really long time and it seems like ages. So one of the first things I did when I was community board chair, sort of end of 2013, beginning of 2014, was sign the Memorandum of Understanding for the community board with council and the Christchurch Coastal Pathway Group. And I mean, that project was started way back then and just opened, like a year ago. And so it took 10 years to get it done. But it's the most amazing facility. It was a community-led project, and council supported that, and it's such a community asset. So, love that work. Love looking at the big picture for the city, and planning for our future.
That's awesome. And so you have been involved in community work and local government for a while. What first got you into the space, and how did it really got your interest into this?
Yeah, I guess it was probably that library thing. So our local volunteer library, I'd been volunteering on a Friday and the kids would come in and get books, that kind of stuff. And the earthquake damaged it quite badly. And we found out, maybe beginning of 2013 that council were going to demolish it and that Sara, the Earthquake Recovery Agency, had put a demolition order on it. And we were a bit confused because we thought it was repairable and we'd heard that it was repairable. So I got papers released from Sara and from council which showed that it could be repaired and that council had made a deliberate choice to not respond with the right paperwork to Sara so that they could trigger a demolition order so that they could take the insurance money out of our community and use it somewhere else. And so I organised a protest. I went to present to council for the first time. I was chair of the Residents Association at the time, and we managed to get the demolition halted, the insurance money ring-fenced, and managed to get a new community facility out of it. And I realised that, if you can work through some of those processes, you can get really good outcomes. And a few members of the Residents Association tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, actually, why don't you go into that space and you could probably help us better from in there. And so I did. Yeah, stood for election 2013. Quite a big deal. It's a weird thing to do, to stand for election. Like, I was an at-home mum at the time with small kids. And, just imagine your face on a billboard 1.2 metres high by 2.4 wide. It's just the weirdest job application. But, really glad I did it.
That's awesome. What made you decide to put your name forward for the mayor role?
The mayor's a different kettle of fish, right? This is it's a much bigger job. So I've spent, the last over a decade now serving the community as on the community board and on council, and in that time I've learnt an enormous amount about the city, how it operates, and the council and how it operates, but also about governance. So I've done a lot of upskilling in that governance space. I've been on the board at Christchurch City Holdings Limited, so that owns the port, the airport, Orion, EcoCentral, and Enable on behalf of residents. So I've got that kind of bigger scale business experience now. And our future concerns me. So I've got 3 kids. They're 18 and 20. And we know that we've got some really big challenges coming. We've had big challenges, and we overcame them as a community. And we need to plan for future challenges with climate change, biodiversity loss, and all of those things, and the community impacts of that. And what I've seen is that there's a number of people who just want to focus on the city now and the status quo, and want to take a deep breath and actually just stop for now. And I'm really concerned that we won't be doing that planning that we really need to do to prepare our city for what's going to be quite a different future. So it just seemed like the right time to step up.
Yeah, the city is growing really rapidly at the moment. There's so many different projects coming up, and it's great to see that the city is vibing, really thriving. Every big events come in, festivals, and it's getting the community together. So it's a really awesome city at the moment. Yeah, so
in Wellington after the quakes, I was talking to someone a while back, and they were working in a government department after the quakes, and they were like, they'd written us off. Government department in Wellington had written us up. Christchurch isn't coming back from that. But we really have, and that's off the back of a whole pile of really bold and quite big decisions that are really people-friendly. So, shifting the city to face the river. It was a big move, and that river promenade has really changed how we do it. Riverside Market, a partnership between those private businesses that had the vision to have that kind of market, but also, the government who organised that space for them to be in, and the public realm outside. That used to be 22 car parks. Imagine putting those back now. It would ruin the vibe of that whole outside space, right?
Definitely.
And we want to keep that kind of stuff going. We've got 32,000 more people due to be living here in the next 10 years, and we need to plan for that.
Absolutely. And your campaign is really focused on community, and what does that really look like in action, specifically?
It's definitely a community campaign. So it's probably been a while since Christchurch has seen a sort of grassroots community campaign. I don't have a lot of cash to splash around when it comes to community to campaigning. So it really is about community fundraising. So I've got a quiz on Friday night, and I've got some volunteers that are organising that, and we've got over 100 tickets sold.
That's great.
That's going to be great. Lots of smaller donations, lots of getting out into the community to different communities and meeting a lot of people. It's I'm really enjoying it.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, so what is your vision for the Christchurch over the next 10 years? What's your vision for Christchurch over the next 10 years, you reckon?
Building on what we've got. So, we've got this amazing public realm now, but there's some pieces not quite finished. So Parakiore is still going to open. The stadium's going to open, and that's going to be phenomenal for the city. But you've also got a whole pile of little gaps as well. Otakara Orchard isn't quite finished yet, and all of those pieces will come together. But we also need to have more people living in the central city, and that will help with the vibrant nightlife and those kind of things as well. If we're going to have 32,000 more people in the next 10 years, they've got to have somewhere to live, and it's got to be affordable, and it's got to be close to the central city so that we're not just clogging our streets up with cars. We know that most trips in Christchurch, about 83% of trips, are one person in a car. And it's really inefficient. So providing people with options for that and building on the cycleways network, the public transport, and our walkable city is going to be really important.
Yeah, having that options of public transport and different modes of transport, getting around your city is really important. And I noticed the traffic is picking up all the time, and they're finally going to be upgrading the Brom Street hopefully at some point, because man, that traffic gets pretty intense around peak times. There's some safety issues going on there too in the past.
Yeah, definitely safety issues, and it's this big division between communities as well. So when it was, not 4 lanes, 6 lanes, it was, the community crossed it a lot, right? And it's this kind of big barrier. So part of the upgrade will be to allow more pedestrian access, which would be great.
And a lot of people feel disconnected from council decisions. What would you help more people feel heard and included? Yeah,
it's a real problem. And there's this big, not just in Christchurch, but nationally, and in fact internationally, people are trusting councils less and less. And I think it's really sad. I mean, me, just like anyone who's in the council organisation or who put their hand up for election, we're actually just other residents. And it's a bit weird. Like, I've got this position called a councillor, but actually I'm just a mum with 3 kids down the road, right?
Yeah.
And we're all kind of just like that. I think that councils as a whole are quite risk averse when it comes to community engagement, and I'd like to see us be a little bit more trusting. It's hard though, because sometimes you take a step and then you get slammed for it. I'd like to hold deliberative forums. They're not quite like a citizens' jury, but like where you get like a representative group of people together and you have them for a couple of days, not just like a fill in a form, say what you think about something. But like Auckland and Wellington have had them. Auckland did it on water, they did it on transport. They got a decent-sized group of people in the room for a couple of days. Just regular residents, sort of representative of the community, all walks of life, to look at the information and have discussions about it and make some recommendations to council. And I think I'd like to see more of that happen.
Yeah, and as the councillor focusing on sustainability and community wellbeing, what initiatives have you championed to improve accessibility for people with disabilities in Christchurch?
Yeah, it's been a couple of things. So there's a range of smaller day-to-day stuff that you get. So sometimes you'll have a resident with an accessibility issue and you can make a direct impact. So a young woman out in Sumner who was struggling to get her wheelchair on the bus because there were always cars parked in the way of the bus stop because there was no yellow lines painted, and so the platform wasn't able to go down flat. And so making sure that we could get the bus stop painted so that the cars weren't there and she wouldn't, because there was one time she fell off, right? The wheelchair fell off the platform because it couldn't come in. So there's those kind of things. A woman who couldn't get there was no cut down for access. But then there's things like our libraries and citywide stuff. So I got rid of the library fines. So I know a lot of people take longer to read books or they forget to return them. And for many people, just or they struggle to get to a library.
Definitely.
And so for many people, just the thought of potentially having to pay a fine was stopping them go to the libraries and getting books out. And so a couple of years ago, I put up a notice of motion and we ended up getting rid of library fines, and that's really improved access for people. We've also now managed to get rid of the hold fees, and it means that if someone wants a book and they can't get to the other side of town to pick it up, they don't have to pay that $2 or $3 fee to get it to a library that's closer to them. And I think those kind of things really help.
And you've spoken about a little bit about abuse and women in politics face. How big of an issue is this, and what needs to change?
Oh, that's a big question. Yeah, it is a big issue, and it's a big issue for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's really harmful for the women who are in politics, and I've spoken publicly about that before in my experience with the young Nats a couple of years ago, going through NetSafe and the Harmful Digital Communications Act to unmask those behind the fake accounts. But it does a lot of harm to those that are there.
Definitely, yeah.
But the other key thing is it puts other women off standing. There's a lot of women I talk to who would be amazing around the table. They would be great governors, but they don't want to put themselves forward because they don't want to get harassed. And that harassment is designed to try and silence women. And not just women, but other groups as well. And there's an intersectionality. So women of colour, women with disability face even stronger backlash. What to do about it? Firstly, we need to talk about it. And leaders in the community, male allies, need to take a really strong stand when they see it. Male political leaders especially. A lot of people look to our male political leaders, especially young men, to see the type of and the standard of behaviour that's expected. And if they see them making personal attacks, then they're more likely to do it themselves.
Yeah, definitely. What advice would you give to someone thinking about stepping up into politics or leadership?
I have a take a look at it. When I first got shoulder tapped, I went and I sat in some community board meetings. They're all live streamed now, so you can actually just go online.
I have seen some of them, they're really good.
Yeah, it's really interesting, eh? Actually better than you'd think.
Yeah.
And so you can do that. You can watch a community board meeting. You can email or phone an elected member and say, hey, what's it like? Someone who's a sitting member whose seat you want to take might not want to have a coffee. But, you don't have to talk to someone who's in your ward, right? And I think that's a really good start.
Yeah, it's a really good start. And if you become the mayor, what are the first things you want to get done?
Oh, you're the first person who's asked me that.
Okay.
I think that building a really strong team around the table is the first thing, and actually having really good conversations with colleagues, whoever gets elected, about how we operate and what they want to achieve is really important, because it's not just about the mayor. The mayor is one person out of 17 that gets elected, and all of us are there to achieve things, both for the city and their wards. I'd like to reinstate committees. So currently we've just got finance and performance and a small health and safety one. But we used to have like a community committee of various types. When I had it was sustainability and community. Before then there was just a community committee.
Amazing.
And it's where different community groups could come and actually really feel like they could engage with elected members, put forward their issues, those kind of things. Just really doesn't happen at the moment. A waters committee that has oversight of actually what's happening with our water infrastructure. It's currently leaking at 27%, more than a quarter of what we pull up out of the ground disappears before it gets to your tap. And we really need a group that's really focused on looking at that and other areas.
Awesome. And what one key message would you like Christchurch voters to take away from this conversation today? What's one key message that you like Christchurch to take away today?
I guess the key thing is that, a city is about people. The infrastructure is really important for, allowing us space to be people and to be a community. But, a council in a city is about community, and we can do it together, and we can build a sustainable future together that faces all of those challenges in a way that is fair and equitable and includes everyone.
And that's really great to hear. And just finally, this has been a massive interest of mine, especially in the disability sector and around Christchurch, always looking for accessibility problems and wanting to report them back to the council, what can be considered. We've got the big stadium happening down here, just down the road from Madras Street at the station. And what accessibility things would you probably look into for the stadium going into next year?
Yeah, so I guess there's two things about accessibility with the stadium. The first is on the outside, so it's access and getting to the stadium and making sure that everyone has easy access to get to it, which is important. And the other thing is like how the stadium itself is set up. So we actually, a small group of us had a bit of a tour the other day, which was really interesting, and looking at how it's all set up. We were really clear as a council that we wanted it to be accessible, and that people who had disabilities, especially with mobility, would be able to, find a good view, a good seat, and we've been told that there's, really good seats across the whole spectrum of the stadium, which is really good. They're not just in one small section, which is really good. And so there's the disability space there. There's also some wider inclusion stuff. So
awesome.
I focused on making sure that we had gender-neutral toilets
That's great.
There were
Quick one,
originally
yeah.
there were no plans for gender neutral toilets. It was only going to be male and female.
Right.
But actually, like with those with disability, those in the rainbow community, you know, everyone needs to feel welcome, and everyone needs to have access. And so there are now a small number, I think 16 or so, more than there was going to be, and it's great. Properly gender neutral toilets on the main area as well.
That is really good to hear that. And finally, where can people find out more about your campaign and how can they get involved and help you?
Yeah, so on my website is the first place, so saratempleton.nz. I've had that for a few years now. My Facebook page, Sara Templeton for Mayor. I'm also on Instagram, LinkedIn, Reddit, TikTok, Blue Sky. Actually, Blue Sky is just my little personal thing, but I'm in most places. If you go to the website, if you're wanting to help out, there's a form you can fill in for volunteering. So we've had over 130 people so far fill in that form to help and volunteer, which is great, and I'd love more people to join us.
Brilliant. Hopefully people will be able to get involved. And what the body elections is now October. It's not, the year's going quick already, so that won't come around. That's quite soon.
Yeah, and papers. You'll get your papers in the mail in September. I think there's a bit of a longer time this year because New Zealand Post are a bit slow with things these days.
Definitely.
So, be great to see lots of people voting.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. Really appreciate it, and look forward to catching up with you again very soon.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks so much. I had a great time.
Thank you. It's really appreciated having you on the studio. It's a great opportunity to get people like yourself to express yourself and get the audience to understand who you are in the council and what your vision of Christchurch is going to be.
It's great. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that was the Drive Home show today here on Plains FM. We hope you enjoyed that wonderful interview today here live in the studio. It's always a pleasure to be here. And as always, if you have any information and want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us on Facebook, the Drive Home show on Plains FM, or just shoulder tap the Plains FM staff here. Pop up in the studio, say hi to them, and you can pass a message to us, or shoot us an email at drivehomeshow@hotmail.com. It's going to be a busy weekend this weekend, so stay safe if you're participating in the City to Surf like I am. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time here on the Drive Home show. Until next time, best of luck and have fun this weekend.
See you next week at Wednesday.
Thank you for listening to the Drive Home show on Plains FM.
With your hosts, DJ Jordan and Thomas.
You can find us on Facebook and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and find out more at plainsfm.org.nz.
See you next week at 4 p.m.